What an absolutely fantastic Thursday, Horns, and welcome to today's segment of Bgsn Student News. I'm Juliet Kaufman.
And I'm Anna Marie Pasianos. Today we will be taking a look at e-learning, breakfast with Santa, winter activities, and as always, sports.
But first, here's Jacob with your weekly weather forecast.
Good morning, Hornets. Hope y'all are having staying warm because I know I am. Thursday we'll have a high of 52 and a low of 37 with a 57% chance of rain. Friday we'll have a high of 42 and a low of 31 with a 10% chance of rain. Saturday, we'll have a high of 37 and a low of 28 with a 90% chance of rain. That's all for your weekly weather. Back to you ladies at the desk.
Just a reminder, Horns Into the Woods opening night is tonight at 7 p.m. Doors will open at 6:30.
It will cost $7 for students and $10 for adults.
Also, if you're in pre-cal or calculus, you can go to one or two of the shows and take a picture with Cinderella or the Baker's Wife and get up to 14 extra credit points.
Be sure to come out and support the drama department and all the actors and crew's hard work. Juliet, what is your favorite activity to do in the winter?
My favorite activity is baking Christmas cookies with my friends and family.
Lainey went out and got more on students' favorite activities in the winter.
Finding activities to do when it's cold outside could be a very difficult task. I talked to a few students to ask what they do when it gets cold outside.
So when it's cold out, I usually just put on a nice comfy pair of pajamas and I just lay in my bed and curl up in it and watch Netflix, maybe TV shows or Christmas movies. It just depends on my mood.
My favorite thing to do in the wintertime is sleep because I feel like sleeping when it's colder is a lot more comfortable, like when you're overbearingly hot. So yeah, I just like to sleep in the winter.
So when it gets colder outside, I like to get in a bunch of cozy blankets, invite my friends over, and watch a bunch of holiday movies to get me in the spirit.
In the winter when it's cold outside, I like to go ice skating and do a lot of outdoor activities like that and Christmas at the zoo. And I also play club volleyball in the winter, so I enjoy that.
During the cold weather, I like to stay inside and bake cookies with my friends and just watch Christmas movies or Thanksgiving movies.
Well, for the winter season, I love to go ice skating. I also like going and doing social things with friends and Christmas things like Christmas at the zoo, which is super fun and also super pretty. And also a good movie at home with some hot chocolate is great too.
Some of my favorite activities to do are definitely to go downtown and see the lights. I'll go and just hang out with friends, see movies, and then, I love just watching the NBA.
As you heard, there are many different things you can do when it is cold outside. This has been Lainey Wilson for Beech Grove Student News. Thank you for watching.
Tuesday was our first e-learning day here at Beech Grove High School. Alexa got more on how people felt about staying at home.
As all of you know, Tuesday, November 19th was our e-learning day here at Beech Grove High School. You were to have received an email from Mr. Sarks regarding our guidelines on this day. Teachers were required to put 20 to 30-minute lessons on Canvas, so check your modules, Hornets. If you had any questions or concerns, you were to email your teachers from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Also, remember all e-learning work must be completed no later than Tuesday, November 26th. I talked to junior Lainey Wilson about her opinion on e-learning day.
The concept of e-learning is a good idea, but I don't believe that really worked out as it should have. The classes took a lot longer than the teacher said they were going to be, but I think the overall idea was a good idea.
I also talked to senior Jordan Dishman about his opinion as well.
E-learning, I feel like it's a great concept. You get to stay home and you get to just be yourself at home and you get to relax while doing your work. And I feel like it's a lot less work than what you have to do on a regular school day. So I support e-learning.
To include a teacher's perspective, I talked to Mr. Bullock, an ag teacher here at Beech Grove, to tell me his experience.
Okay, so my experience with our first e-learning here is that it went pretty well. I was surprised by the amount of my students that actually had completed the e-learning assignment prior to the actual morning that we had off of school. Beyond that, I think e-learning is fine. Obviously, it's not a direct substitute for being in a class because you're not interacting with your students, but as long as the number's controlled, I think e-learning is not a bad idea and nothing wrong with it. I was actually pleasantly surprised with the amount of my students that completed the assignment.
Also, don't forget to complete the survey that's in your I Succeed module, Hornets. Have a great day.
Are you looking for a fun Christmas activity this year? Well, the annual Breakfast with Santa is coming up and Alyssa got more. Let's take a look.
The annual Breakfast with Santa presented by Tri Kappa is coming up. I talked to students who participated last year to ask them what they did to help out.
So last year I was in charge of the photos with Santa, so they would get their photos taken with Santa, and then I would be in charge of printing them out and getting to them as quickly as possible.
So last year at Breakfast with Santa, we wrote letters to Santa, and we had kids in the auditorium like sit on his lap and take pictures with him and tell them like what they want for Christmas. And they also played a lot of games, and it's just a lot of fun to get involved in and like have a good experience.
It's important to get involved in your community. I then asked both of them why you should go and help out this year.
So you should definitely do it. It's a lot of fun to see all the little kiddos and the Christmas spirit, and just to see everyone in a happy mood.
Involved because it's for Tri Kappa, and we always need a lot of volunteers to help out, and it'll make the kids happy, and it'll give you community service hours that will help you out.
The Breakfast with Santa is Saturday, December 7th at 9 a.m. at Beech Grove High School. Pre-sale tickets last until November 28th and cost $8. All tickets include a continental breakfast, group crafts, entertainments, and for another $8 you can get pictures with Santa. This has been Alyssa for Bgsn. Thanks for watching.
Now let's toss it over to Jaden Petty for sports.
Good morning, Hornets, and welcome back to sports. In Beech Grove news, the boys basketball team had their first scrimmage last night at home against Greencastle. Also Tuesday night, the Lady Hornets won against the Lutheran Saints 53-33. Girls swimming has a meet tonight against Cascade and also against Heron. This meet will start at 5:30. In NFL news, our very own Indianapolis Colts will travel to face the Houston Texans in a conference matchup. In NBA news, last night, the Nets played the Hornets and won 101-91. The Cleveland Cavaliers couldn't take the heat, losing 124-100. The Bulls ran through the Pistons, winning 109-89. The Jazz got groovy and beat the Timberwolves 103-95. And the Denver Nuggets outplayed the Rockets, winning 105-95. Finally, the big talk of the night was the Los Angeles Clippers beat the Boston Celtics in an overtime game 107-104. For the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard scored 17 points with 3 assists and 6 rebounds. Paul George scored 25 points with 8 assists and 5 rebounds. For the Celtics, Jason Tatum played 41 minutes with 30 points and 3 assists and 6 rebounds. Marcus Smart had a 15-point game with 8 assists and 3 rebounds. In college football news, the college football new playoff rankings came out this past Tuesday. This is what the top CFP rankings are looking like for this week. Rounding out the top 4 is LSU at number 1, Ohio State at number 2, Clemson at number 3, and Georgia at number 4. That's all for sports. Back to you ladies at the desk.
Thank you, Jay, and that is all for today's edition of Bgsn 10.
Teachers, don't forget to hit that bell icon and subscribe button to get notified every time we go live.
Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at BG Student News. I'm Juliette Kaufman.
And I'm Anne Marie Pasianos. Have a thriving Thursday, Hornets.